Hey, Natsu here. So, today, since I finished my way Chimera was summoned as the Shield Hero series, I'm going to start a new one. This is going to be what if Deku had a quirk called growth absorption. This quirk is basically going to work in a way that for everyone who knows Digimon Season 3, Digimon Tamer, the way most of the Digimon get stronger in that season is that when they killed another Digimon, they gain their data, so their strength. Deku is going to basically be able to do that, but if he knocks people unconscious, or yes, if he kills them, but he won't really do that. And it works with everything as long as it is alive and can be conscious. So, yes. So, Deku is going to be born with that ability. He's not going to develop it later in life. And no matter the size of what he kills or whatever, he gains part of their strength and more powers. Also, like I said, it takes from Digimon. The true name of the power is called absorption evolution, but they only know one part of the quirk, so they didn't name it that. Basically, after a while of absorbing data, power, his body is going to be able to boost himself in a way by transforming his body into something new multiple times. Like, I'm gonna say it right now, he was born with some scales under his eyes, around his eyes. He had some small spikes on, not spike, but like, he had two small horns on his forearms, and under his feet there's also scales. And in his back he has two spikes coming out like if there were wings. So basically he was born with that, and basically they just thought he had a mutation quirk. So yeah. So during his childhood, like every kid, Deku was killing bugs when he was seeing them, gaining bits of strength here and there. So he was getting a bit strong, but like to even start becoming stronger than a normal kid, he would literally needs to kill an entire ant colony of like 2,000 workers to do that, to be about the strength of like a kid that's 1 year old, less than a year older than him. So bugs aren't really that helpful when they're this small. So Deku was getting stronger bit by bit. At some point something happened and a dog attacked Bakugo before he got his quirk, and both of them were kind of fighting it since nobody was around. And at some point, Deku was able to knock it out before the owner finally came to try and stop it. Deku kind of accidentally knocked it out, and everyone, well, the owner, Deku, and Bakugo saw some kind of light, like some small particle of light being created by the dog, from the dog, and going into Deku. The owner didn't really think about it. Deku just thought it was cool, just like Bakugo, so they didn't really talk about it. But later, let's say it was like a week before Bakugo got his quirk. After Bakugo got his quirk, he tried to see how Deku would react by asking him to duel. And Deku was stronger than a kid, which is when his mother brings him back to the quirk doctor, and they find out that every time he kills or knock out something, rendering it like unconscious, he will gain strength from them. But depending on what it is and how strong it is, he will gain different amount of power from it. Like I said, they won't know for a while that he can transform. Actually, if I wouldn't have said that, I think it would have taken to the second the video, since, well, oh, yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, Deku is going to have something happen to him. Like, I did say it was going to evolve, but I know I cannot draw anything or do any fan art, so I'm gonna have to explain it in details how he's going to be looking when he's at 14. Basically, his body grows and changes depending on what he gets energy from. So he was born with horns, spikes, and some scales. Not because he had killed some before, he just was born with those. But over time, like after a long time, his mutation changed bit by bit. Now he had bits of fur like a dog, and he was able to, just like a bug, kind of stick on the walls. Because of all the freaking a kid kills, it's pretty easy to see that, yeah, if he changed over time because of it, that will happen. But it happens over years. So at 10, he's able to do that. And he was starting to get really stronger than most because a lot of people decided that they wanted to train in against him or try to see if they could beat him. Because Let's say, because there is something that is funny. You can knock out someone, and then being knocked out might just can take from just a second or two to full days. Let's say the coup during most of those time was able to knock out most of them for a bit, so he still gained strength. Like, he fought a lot against Bakugo and started being able after a while to make fire. Not direct explosion, but just kind of fire. Like, he could make fireballs and he wasn't affected by fire or his explosions. So, yeah. Over time, Deku can literally grow and become stronger. So, at age 10, something happened and he decides that, well, he sees a program where it's people that will, if they want, be able to go learn how to hunt, fish, live in the wood, and stuff like that. Like 6 months, like it's a program in the school where if they want, they can do that. And they could ask his mom if he could go there for the 6 months. She accepts since, well, his power literally lets him heals basically like a Digimon as well. So, in the way he looks right now, it's going to still count as the baby form since he never digivolved or evolved. And if we count the stages, there's baby, child, rookie, champion, ultimate, mega, and there's a seventh one that some can do that is called super mega, which is extremely rare. There are also some that simply pass from mega to mega again by changing. Normally there's 7 transformation, in which you would be the one in the first. He will have different things, like he will still only have the 7 stages, but he will have 2 or 3 lines that he's going to be able to go through. But yeah, basically this is mostly a part 0 of what his powers are. So let's continue. During his time in his 6 months in the wood, hunting and fishing, he got multiple fish, which he killed. He learned how to use bow, stuff like that, to hunt deer, small animals. At one point, a bear attacked them, and he used his fire to kill it, and gained a massive boost of strength from it. Like, basically, he's 10 and he's stronger than most adult males that train normally. Like, if he wanted to at this point, he would probably be able to bench press like 250 pound, which is massive. So, he's becoming strong. After that, after the camp that lasted 6 months during school for a project, He came back a lot stronger. And continuing like that. Over the 6 months, he started developing some small claws. I'm going to say it right now also. At the age of 12, his transformations are going to stop at the point where he is at that moment. So let's say he killed a lot of birds and stuff like that. Right now he's about 10 and 3/4 or something. So he has small wings that started to grow. He has gills. His eye adapted to be able to see in the dark by killing by accident a cat. So yeah. So after that program, people starting at calling him the Chimera because he literally looks like he has horns, spike on his back, wings, claws. He has a small tail and scales a bit everywhere, as well as having a weird eye color. So during the last years before the sludge villain attack, start of the anime, which is the moment where he's going to stop changing. His wing fully grown. Now he can fly if he wants. His tail fully grown. His horns are. Let me go look for an image. And this is what his eyes look like also. He has the eyes of a cat. And his wings are basically bird wings. And his ears are covered in like black scales and look pointy. So this is basically everything about how he looks. So yeah, that's basically Deku at the start of the anime. So he was called the Chimera, which he doesn't dislike because he actually find it really awesome, like for a name, mostly with how he looks. His tail has a stinger at the not really a stinger, but at the end of his tail, he has it separates in 3 different pieces that looks exactly the same but are placed in at the end of his tail. It looks like this, but the spike part is like the sting of a scorpion. So the only difference is that the venom that is in it isn't poisonous. it's more like or a paralyzing agent or a somnifer. No, in French it's called somnifère, but in English I don't remember the name. Basically, it makes you fall asleep, which his power counts as unconscious, so if he's able to sting someone, he basically is able to get their power, some of their strength. So yeah, that's basically what. If someone's able to do fan art of it and send it on Discord, I would be really impressed by that. I'm going to try and find a way to put my Discord on, or in the link, or in the comment section. But yeah, it would be really good if someone was able to do fan art of that. So yeah, he was called the Chimera at the point of the start of the anime. If he wanted to, he could easily bench press like 600 pounds. Because now, from time to time, he just goes in the forest to pass time there. Like every weekend, he go there in the forest, hunts at least one or two animals, cooks them, fish, goes fishing, then bring back the meat at home so his mother doesn't have to buy it. So he's getting really strong with that. So he doesn't meet All Might. He doesn't mm, face the sludge villain. The sludge villain is just arrested. Um, Deku is not going to get all for one for all in this because it's going to be way too powerful. Since his quirk is literally a booster quirk that every time he renders something unconscious or kill it, he gain a part of their strength. Strength, speed, and some of their characteristic for when he evolves. Every time he's going to evolve, that form is going to stay the same afterward forever. So that's why I say he's going to get at the least, very minimum, he's going to get 3 different evolution lines that he's going to be able to choose in which one he wants to go. I know it's going to be a lot of work for me, but well, it won't be that much work since basically for the first transformation the difference won't be that big. Probably just like color schemes, and some of the powers. In the second, it's going to be way more, and once he gets to his champion form, all 3 should be freaking different. So yeah, like I was saying, Deku won't get the all for one, one for all. It's going to go to Mirio. And yeah, so during the 10-month training, for sure there's going to be spring or something that makes him have a pause. And at the same time, he trains a lot. So basically, what he trains is his body and the strength of his poison, which is put to sleep. As well as its effectiveness. So, he's capable of flying, let's say, about 150 miles per hour. His body's capable of taking it, and he trained a long freaking time to be able to do that. He's able to lift almost an entire ton because he went and found a small job, which is kind of a hunting job. So for a while, he was supposed to go hunt some bears that were kind of coming out of some woods and terrorizing some farmers. So he went and hunted them. There were like eight in total, so he got a lot of strength. So yeah. Deku, if I recall every ability he has, he can fly, he is immune and can create fire from his hand as well as breathe fire. He has a tail which has blades on it, which are basically just kind of scales that turned out like that. He has a stinger that can put anything to sleep. If I didn't say breathe underwater, I'm just going to say it. He can if he wants to, he can go to a very deep part in the ocean and take pressure that are basically like, in terms of resistance, his body would be able to resist a a hit from Deku about, well, when he just started using like 5% in full culling without breaking his bone. This Deku would be able to take that hit and give one that is about the same strength. So yeah. When he's running, he can go a bit faster than when he's flying, but that's pretty much it. So, this is going to be part 0 of what if Deku had a quirk called absorption evolution. And yeah, so Natsu out.